Hello traders, welcome to another exciting video on Trading Kernel. Today we are going to be carrying out a research on triangular currency relationships. I'm sure you've heard the term arbitrage if you're a forex trader and you've been wondering, is this really an edge? Do traders make money from it? Is it possible that I can also make money from it? In this video, we are going to be looking at that. So what exactly is the triangular relationship with regards to forex pairs? A triangular currency relationship occurs when three currencies can be traded in a loop. For example, in this case, we've got Euro USD, USD JPY, and Euro JPY. Ideally, the relationship should hold true. Euro JPY equal to Euro USD multiplied by USD JPY. So if you cancel out the USD here on both sides, you get Euro JPY. This relationship should hold true. But does it actually hold true all the time? Now that exactly is the arbitrage that we are going to be looking at in this video. Okay, now if it doesn't, there may be an arbitrage opportunity to exploit. Okay, so why does this matter in the forex market? The forex markets are seen to be highly efficient. In fact, one of the most efficient markets in the world right now. But at times of high volatility or low liquidity, there can be temporary mispricings, which means in this case here, Euro JPY would not be equal to Euro USD multiplied by USD JPY. Okay, so that obviously is a temporary mispricing, which oftentimes tends to correct itself back. So by observing the triangular relationship, is it possible that we can detect these pricing inefficiencies, exploit these arbitrage opportunities, possibly build indicators or confirmation tools for entry or exit? So let's proceed to research using Jupyter Notebook, Python, and the MetaTrader 5 library. Okay, so we are currently on our Jupyter Notebook right now, and we use the MetaTrader 5 library to download these data here, and we save them as CSV files so we can use them in this research report. So what we just did here was to import the libraries we are going to be needing, and we imported the data we are going to be using also in this research. Now in this research, we are going to be using Euro USD, Euro AUD, and AUD USD. Okay, so the relationship here is that Euro AUD is supposed to be equal to Euro USD divided by AUD USD. And then the spread would be what Euro AUD actually is minus what Euro AUD is supposed to be, which is why I indicated expected Euro AUD here. So we do that here, and then we get the head of our data frame here. So you can see our research was done from 2019 down to 2025. Okay, so we got Euro USD, Euro AUD, AUD USD. We got the volume for this here, and we also now have the expected Euro AUD here. And then we have the spread, which is the difference between what Euro AUD is and what Euro AUD is supposed to be. Okay, so we plot that spread down here, and we actually get this chart here. So we have our zero line here, and we have the spread, which is actually mispriced. Okay, so we have this wavy stuff, which is actually supposed to be a straight line if this was actually the same. This is supposed to be just a straight line, but as you can see, it is not a straight line. So there are actually points where there is actually mispricing. Okay, so let's perform some statistical analysis here. Let's start by analyzing the spread's mean, standard deviation, and skewness to understand its behavior. And we did that here, and you can see the result here. Okay, now we also tested for the stationarity, right, to see if the spread is stationary, meaning if it's mean reverting, using the augmented Dickey-Fuller test or the ADF test, right? And as you can see from our values here, the ADF statistic is negative, right? So this indicates a strong stationarity. And for the p-value, it is very close to 0. So it also indicates strong stationarity as well. And stationarity simply means wherever the price goes, it usually goes back to 0. Okay. And then for the co-integration test, we actually tested to see if these three pairs are co-integrated using the Johansson's test. So to actually check if they move together on the long term. And we did that by getting the tree statistic and also the critical values. And from this, we can actually tell that these three pairs, Euro USD, Euro AUD, and AUD USD, are actually co-integrated. Okay, so now we know that these pairs are co-integrated, and we also know that the spread is stationary. Let's proceed to do some further insight here. So first, we are going to look at the spread correction. We are going to calculate the average time it takes the spread to revert to 0. And we did that by getting the spread reversion here. And we can see that the spread actually reverted 1870 times. Okay, we also calculated the reversion time analysis. So we calculated the average and the median reversion times to access the stability of the strategy. And this was done in seconds. So we can see that the average time in seconds for reversion is 85,211 seconds. And the median reversion time was 7,200 seconds. Now we also performed a volume analysis test to see if volume spikes actually correlated with this mispricing. And from this volume correlation here, you can obviously see that the volume on Euro AUD and the volume on AUD USD are highly correlated. You can also see that the volume on AUD USD and the volume on AUD on Euro AUD are highly correlated here. Okay, and the rest are just mildly correlated. Okay, so we want further to actually, check for the hours when this spread actually occur. Okay, so we called it the hourly spread analysis, and you can see basically we found out that they actually occurred on average every hour. So the values are slightly the same. Okay, so there's no exact hour where this mispricing is very likely to occur than other hours. Okay, so we actually plotted this out here as well, and you can see that they are all on average the same. Okay, so now there's something here that we are also going to skip. Let's just skip this quickly and proceed to develop a strategy that we can actually use to backtest this. Okay, so we define our spread threshold here to be 0.001, right? So this is the value that we want to enter at. So here, right? And we also add a spread. If you're a trader, you should know that whenever you're trading or whenever you're defining a trading strategy, you always need to add a spread cost to punish your trading strategy, and also a commission cost as well. Okay, so this helps us punishes our trading strategy because obviously when we are trading live, we are going to pay these fees. Okay, so we define our position here. So when the spread is greater than the spread threshold, we go short. And when the spread is less than the negative spread threshold, we go long. Okay, so this here, we go short here and we go long here, believing that it's always going to go back and revert to 0. Okay, so now we also add the spread and the commission cost as well, and then we plot our cumulative strategy here, and we plot that on the chart here, and this is what we get. So it looks pretty good, and it looks like we actually discovered a way to make a lot of money without risking anything in the forex market. So congratulations to us, we are now rich, right? We've discovered the holy grail, right? We've discovered the secret that no one else has, so we can actually exploit it to make money, according to Ray Williams. Until so what actually could have gone wrong here, right? We added the spread, we added the commission, we did everything right. And a lot of people would actually make the mistake of going live with this. I've seen a lot of videos online and none of them talked about this, right? So what could be wrong here? Well, there was something that we forgot about, something weird that happens in the forex market. And that one thing we are forgetting is that there are actually some periods of the day when the spreads on whatever forex pair you're trading are very high, or should I say very crazy, and that is during the midnight. So let's go back up here and see that we actually accounted for it for this, but I actually just commented this out to show you guys this, and it looks really good. But let's account for that. Let's account for the excluded hours to be midnight. So we are not going to be trading during these midnight hours. Okay, so let me just add this here and uncomment this here. So let's run this. So if you scroll down here, as you can see, there is no longer much now, right? And it's also very possible that during these periods that we have these opportunities as well, the spreads could be crazy. So maybe during news announcements, maybe the NFP, maybe the CPI, whatever, the spreads could also go crazy here. So considering what we've actually discovered here, is it possible that we can So what does this research actually tell us right now? Now this research tells us that majority of the time when the spread exceeds our spread threshold here, which we added here, majority of the time when the spread exceeds this stress, majority of the time when the spread exceeds this spread threshold here is actually during this midnight hours, right? So the hours here where you see this occur, majority of them do not actually exceed the spread threshold. And that tells you how efficient the forex market is actually becoming. Okay? And we can't even be setting that during this period here where the spread actually exceeds 0.01 and we got a good result here, we can't actually be setting that the spread actually was the same, okay, or normal or within the zero. Okay, so from this research that we've discovered, right now, so from this research that we've carried out right now, what does this tell you about arbitrage opportunities in the forex market? I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments. Okay, but here's what I'm going to say, right? If you are a trader and someone is suggesting to you to explore an arbitrage relationship in the forex market, it's not worth it. right? From watching this video, if somebody should tell you that there's a Forex robot that trades arbitrage in the Forex market, it's not worth it, okay? So here's what you could do. You could actually take this research framework that we've currently developed right now and test it across other emerging markets, because this has not always been the case. Okay, if I go back with this research framework and go back to 2015 or 2005, you're going to see that we actually have a good edge here that we could have actually traded in the past. But like I said, and like I always say, the market becomes efficient and efficient as the year goes by. So some of these opportunities that were existing before no longer exist now, and we cannot actually utilize them now, even if they do, because of the spreads and the commissions. Okay, but that might not be the case for every market out there. Okay, we have the cryptocurrency market, we have the futures market, we have the options market. These are emerging markets, right? So you could take this framework and research across other markets to see if there is an actual edge that you could trade. Okay, remember, when it comes to cryptocurrency, there are no midnight spreads. Okay, so that can actually be something worth considering while building a strategy like this. Okay, so I hope you learned something from this video, and if you did, make sure to follow, like, share your thoughts in the comments, and help us share this video to as many people as possible. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.